This is our last match in this save with the Philippines national team. We are on March 26th in the middle of an international friendly break. In the first match of this friendly break, we defeated Sri Lanka 5-2 in a pretty comfortable win. And in the match that we will be here for today, which I wanted to come back for this match since it is our last match with the national team, but we are taking on the Turk Islands. And to give some sense of timing, we are coming back prior to the Ulsan Champions League semifinal matches. I think this video is going to come out afterwards, though. I think I'm going to do the Champions League semifinal matches first, and then this video will come out. So you guys will already know what will have happened, but hopefully things will go well here, and this episode will be a nice kind of celebration of this save and being with the national team in this save. But looking at our schedule with the Philippines national team, there is nothing after this. So this is what last season looked like. We did some other friendly matches, but obviously the big one was that we didn't qualify for the World Cup. This would be the World Cup season, but we're not in it. We didn't qualify for it. So this is the final international break with this team. And I thought it would be nice to kind of reminisce about how it was being with the Philippines national team before we get into the game. But we didn't get the job until, if I remember correctly, 2025. So a couple seasons into the save, and this was our first ever match. Was a 3-1 win at home against South Korea, with Sebastian Barak scoring a 90th minute goal to help us win it, and Lingbo scoring in the 51st minute. Kike, if you guys remember him, I mean, he still plays in real life, but he's already retired. He retired very early on. I would have loved to have had him for a longer period of time. We still have Lingbo, we still have Barak, and we drew Lebanon at home. Then we did really well in World Cup qualifying. We beat Uzbekistan to qualify for the World Cup. Kenshiro Daniels, who was also a player that we loved at Mendiola, doing really well. He hasn't quite done so well for Bali United. But then we moved into the following season where we were in the lead against England in the World Cup before losing 5-2. And we were in the lead against Colombia. And Garrett Holtman, one of our GOATs, he's now retired. What a good player he is in real life, but also was in this save. And then we went into our first ever Southeast Asian Championship. We made the Southeast Asian Championship final for the first time. We lost to Thailand, which would be a theme later on. 2027 was our Asian Cup run. This is probably the peak of how good our team was, I think, was this Asian Cup run. Drew Saudi Arabia and lost to Qatar, but that allowed us to get into the second round where we beat Iraq and then eventually lost to South Korea, who I believe won the whole thing. After that, we had some friendlies. We went back into World Cup qualifying, and then we had our second Southeast Asian Championships. We brought in a better team, certainly, but unfortunately, we were not able to win it, perhaps even doing a little bit worse against Thailand than we would have wanted. And then after that, it's been kind of all downhill since there. We didn't do so well in World Cup qualifying, and that takes us to the point where we're at now. It's definitely been an interesting journey with the Philippines national team. But at the beginning, at some point where we started, this timeline isn't exactly correct. But when we took us over, I think we were like in this area, maybe the 126th ranked team. And we got up pretty high. I mean, we broke the top 100. We broke the top 90. Our highest ever world ranking was 87th in the world. I think that came right after the Asian Nations Cup. And then we've kind of slowly dropped since then. And now we are the 93rd ranked team in the world, which is where we will conclude with the Philippines. We're above China, which is pretty cool. We're around the same spot as Haiti. We're above Kyrgyzstan. Being above New Zealand, I think, is pretty big. New Zealand's pretty good in game. We're around Luxembourg, El Salvador, Bolivia, Curacao, Iceland. So this is kind of the area where we are, which I think, given where we were in the save, that is a pretty good position to be in. And this is what the squad looks like at this point. Probably the only player that I wish was in the squad that isn't is probably Holger Weiss, the youngster from Bayern. He's not in it because he is injured. He's out for another couple of months. So he's the only one that really didn't make it in. But looking at our squad again, this will be the final team going out. We have big names. Simon Alexander Lingbo, one of the big players of the save. We still have players like Barak and Ugelvik in there, but I'll show you guys the starting lineup here in a little bit. But anyways, our final match with the Philippines national team. This is it. And I'm doing something that I've never done before in Football Manager, but something I've always wanted to do. Every single player in the starting lineup today for the Philippines will be a player at Mendiola who will be there on a permanent deal. In goal will be Julian Schwartzer. On the back line, we have Santos, Tobias Jefferson, Ugalvic, and Lucero. All five permanent deals at Mendiola. In the middle, we'll put Carrion and John Patrick Strauss. Wide, we have Obermeyer and Fajrli. Obermeyer playing a little out of position, but he can play out there. And up top, Sebastian Barak and Frederick Bayan, who will be joining Mendiola permanently in the summer. So every single player in the starting lineup will be a player at Mendiola. This is something I've never done before. I've taken charge of a few national teams. I actually enjoy the interspersion of international management in Football Manager. It's not perfect, but I enjoy it. It gives a nice mix up from the club stuff. But I've never had a team where the entire national team starting lineup came from my club, like the club that I was managing. So this is the first time I've ever done it. This has always been a bucket list item that I've had in Football Manager. And for the first time, I get to tick it off, which feels kind of fun. On the bench, though, I mean, we have players like Manuel Soriano, who is a regen, a really good goalkeeper. Kevin Mendoza retired, so he'll be the number one goalkeeper moving forward for whoever takes charge of the Philippines national team in the future. Lingbo is the captain. He's 32 years old, so going a bit down, but he'll be important for the team in the future still. Pete Ferrosuelo is on the bench. He'll definitely come on at some point. We have Jose Ganer, who is currently at Mendiola on loan. The youngster, he might come on at some point. But players who I definitely want to get on for the last match, I want to get on Joshua Gonzalez. I think he's been super important for this save. He's been one of my favorite players. I think he scored the winning goal in the Asian Cup round of 16. So he's been a huge player. He's someone I want to get on. Askari Kokkonen has been perhaps underrated player by me in this save. He's been fantastic in the Southeast Asian Championships in particular. Jonathan Mogalon is a young player. I'd like to get him on at some point. He could be great for the future of the club. And then Javier Soler, another player who I wish we could have gotten on loan at Mendiola, but it wasn't to be. But this is the team. This is the team that will play the final Philippines national team match of this save. I hope that you all will enjoy it. I will see you all in match. Our final national team talk. I'm going to tell them to just enjoy the match. I'm going to tell everyone I have faith in them because I do. And this is it. The final kickoff of this save with the Philippines. Here we go. When we get things underway, Bayan getting the touch. Bayan winning the second ball. Good stuff. Ugelvik playing it into Carrion. Good stuff there. Strauss in here. Carrion with a nice ball into Obermeyer. He's going to be offsides. Barak nearly marking the last match with a goal. Out wide to Fajrli. Can we find... That's a great ball into Bayan. Barak, you're in. It's on his weaker foot, though. Oh, and there's a wide open goal. Obermeyer. Oh, man, we should have scored by now. We should win it here. Very well done. Tobias Jefferson, calm, cool, and collected. Carrion, can he find the right ball? He finds Strauss. Lovely ball into Bayan. Get the cross in. Fajrli get the cross in. Sebastian Barak hits the post. Santos in the middle. That's a great ball into Strauss. And we can just find Bayan or Fajrli here. Lovely ball. Barak. Cut it back. Obermeyer. How have we not scored yet? That's into Carrion. Good stuff from him. He finds Strauss. Lovely ball into Fajrli. He should get around the outside. Get around the outside and get the ball in. Can Sebastian Barak score here? And still we have nothing. Lucero throwing it into Fajrli here. That's a good ball. Obermeyer now. Oh, he doesn't win the header, but it goes into Santos. And the curler goes wide. Come on, guys. Schwartzer here. We're going to play it out of the back. Come on, guys, get some nice stuff going here. Play it out of the back. Work the ball forward. Lovely ball into Strauss. That's a great ball into Bayan. Barak, you're offsides. Now he's back on. Bayan going around. We had play ball in the middle. Obermeyer finally! I couldn't believe that Strauss didn't score, but Obermeyer finds the back of the net. One of the veterans of this Philippines national team getting the goal in our final match. This should be another easy win for us. I mean, we're dominating this game. I purposefully, by the way, chose a team that we should beat because I wanted this to be a nice celebration for us here, as we should have scored there again. So we are going to dominate this game because I wanted it to be kind of an easy, stress-free match in our final match of the save with the national team. Just play him in behind. That's a great ball into Obermeyer. Sebastian Barak scores. He has been one of the GOATs. His 40th goal for the Philippines. He won't quite... I hope during the save at some point he breaks the record. Phil Younghusband's record for most goals scored by a Filipino player. Can we get one final goal before the half? Obermeyer swings it in. And we'll get a pen. Sebastian Barak, mate. You are going to get this penalty. It will be... Where are you, Sebastian? Where is Sebastian Barak? He is not good at them, but you get it. You, sir, will get the pen. Can Sebastian Barak find the net? I want him to be as close as possible to the record goal scoring by the time he retires. And he scores! And it will be 3-0 going into halftime. And 3-0 going into halftime, it in fact is. We nearly have 4xG. I mean, we could be winning by a lot more here. But going into the dressing room, we're going to tell them that they're doing well. And then we'll start getting some celebratory subs in. Players like Joshua Gonzalez, people like that. Obermeyer standing over the corner here. Goes into the near post. And Sebastian Barak gets his hat trick. And the final Philippines national team match, we get a hat trick from Sebastian Barak. What a game. For the first of our 5 substitutions, we're putting on Oskari Kekkonen and Joshua Gonzalez, the wonder kid and the veteran. And it will be Gonzalez to put the ball in now that Obermeyer is out. Unfortunately, nothing coming from there, but he'll get another shot to put the ball into the box. It finds Carrion. Kekkonen! Kekkonen scores! We've just stuck him on, and Kekkonen makes it 5-0. Good stuff. 2 more subs coming on now. John Estemo Gailon, the young Filipino defensive wonder kid, and another veteran, our captain currently, and a player who will still be a very good player for this team for a long time to come, Simon Lingbo. Up to Lingbo. Lingbo, of course, who's just come on. He's carrying the ball forward nicely. That's a good ball into Kekkonen. Forward to Bayan. Lovely ball to Gonzalez. Sebastian Barak can't make it 4. Howard to stick it forward for them. We should win this easily. Finds Bayan. Can we go wide now? That's a great ball in. Joshua Gonzalez here in. And he scores. The wonder kid with the assist from Frederick Bayan. And it is now 6-0 to Venus Jefferson here. Look at how deep their line is. I mean, we can penetrate that line very easily. Bayan going out wide. He finds Fagerly. A decent ball in, and he'll have the chance to do it again. Sebastian Barak! Man, he could have had 6 today. And our final substitution for this match will be, with a 10.0 rating, Sebastian Barak. We're going to allow him to get a standing ovation from the crowd. We're going to stick on Jose Gonzalez. And Sebastian Barak will end his journey with our side. Gonzalez here with the opportunity to put it in. Goes into John Estemo Gailon. Joshua Gonzalez with the assist. John Estemo Gailon with the goal. And we've put up 7 in our final match. In a game that you'd expect us to put 7 up in, to be fair. And one last chance. A good save. And we've scored right at the end. Oskari Kekkonen of what I thought was the end of match highlight. But he makes it 8-0. And that should be that. And that is it. An 8-0 victory in our final match as the head coach of the Philippines. Sebastian Barak getting a hat trick. All good things coming from this game, and importantly, no one getting injured. And I'm going to tell them final team talk. We'll tell them a job well done. And in this save, we will conclude as the 93rd best footballing nation in the world. To take one last look at some of our records, we've set a few of them during our course as the Philippines national team manager. Our highest world ranking came in December of 2027, 86th. Lowest world ranking was before that we were the Philippines national team manager. That was 137th. But we did achieve our highest ever world ranking. We didn't beat things like biggest win 15-2 in 1917. That was when they still had Paulino Alcantara. Biggest defeat was 15-0 to Japan as well. But we did get a highest scoring match. That doesn't make any sense because 15-2 is a lot more high scoring than 9-0. But this was a loss to Thailand before we were the manager of the Philippines. But looking at the other things, while we were in charge, we got the most overall goals by a player in the season, 8 for Sebastian Barak. He also has the most goals by a player in a match with 5 and a 7-0 friendly win over Sri Lanka. Phil Younghusband is credited with 53 goals for the national team. Barak at 27 now has 42. So he is 11 away from the all-time record. Hopefully, when we move into the future, he'll be able to break that at some point. But those are kind of the big things. We also have the youngest player we've ever had was John Estemo Gailon at just 15 years and 358 days. He is the youngest ever player to play for the Philippines. The most capped player is Phil Younghusband. We didn't have anyone beat that. Fastest goal was Kenshiro Daniels in the Southeast Asian Championship, one of the most important players of this save. But alas, our time with the national team comes to a close. I'm not going to resign from the national team yet. I'll do that all in one fell swoop at the very end of the save. But I would like to thank you all for watching and being involved with the Philippines national team save. Unfortunately, it did kind of fizzle out a little bit. We had our best period at the beginning, and then we sort of steadily got worse. But it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the stuff with the Philippines. Again, unfortunately, it fizzled out a little bit. But I think this was one of the most fun parts of this save. I hope that you all enjoyed it too. I hope that you all enjoyed, the World Cup and the Asian Nations Cup and Southeast Asian Championship episodes and all that. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, and I'm happy that I got to share it with you all. But that is it. This is the last Philippines national team match for a while at least, because FM25 isn't going to have international management. So we won't be doing anything with the Philippines national team in FM25. But hopefully in FM26, we'll be back here again. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all are doing well and taking care of yourselves. And I will see you all soon. Bye.